Everybody, welcome to our client spotlight with one of our esteemed members, Taylor. For those of you who are part of our membership, you would know all about Taylor and her journey. And for all those who don't know her, Taylor, and I'll ask her to explain or to talk about herself. But just as a quick overview, Taylor joined us in January, and we did a dry January challenge, and we got a lot of people coming through. And here we are in April, and she's got a story to tell. So without further ado, Taylor, please tell us about yourself, what you like, what you do for work, and love to hear more about you and your life.
Yeah, so I'm a mum. I've got two amazing children, two lovely young children. I work as a teaching assistant, so every day I get to help children, which I absolutely love and I'm so passionate about. I've got two allotments that I grow my own veg. So that's basically the dream for me. So I'd love to have like a little house in the country, be like self-sufficient, grow my own veg, have my own animals. So I'm starting the journey with my allotment and my chickens. So yeah,
Amazing.
I'm really so I'm really into the organic lifestyle. I love going to the gym. I've just found a new passion for running. Yeah, so
Nice.
that's basically me.
Thank you. No, that's I didn't know that that was part of your dream. Just, for anyone that is watching, that's my dream as well, that I want to get a
We
little
share the
slice of
same
heaven.
vision.
Yeah, yeah. So a little slice on heaven, slice of heaven on earth, basically, right? So trees,
Absolutely.
pond, some fish in the pond, some animals, my own animals, not to eat, but just to hang out with.
Oh no, no, yeah, I'm a vegetarian. I won't be eating
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Okay, amazing. Well, thanks so much for sharing that. And I guess when did you realize that you've had enough with alcohol in your life and it's time for a change?
I suppose thinking back, alcohol has probably always been in my life from since I was about 15. So I would start by drinking on the park with friends, like a lot of people did from school. And then obviously you start going out drinking into bars, and I became a bit of a party girl. So I was always out all the time, living for the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday. Any day really. I ended up working in Ibiza for a bit as well. So my whole 20s just revolved around getting drunk. And then when I had my children, my relationship with alcohol changed quite a bit to where needing a glass of wine to unwind at night. That turned into a bottle. And then obviously when lockdown hit, I found myself drinking a lot more. I got made redundant from my job, and I found I was probably drinking a bottle of wine every night. And I thought, you know what, I've got to do something about this. This is just it was just getting uncontrollable. I was drinking every night, and I was just irritable. I wasn't happy, and I thought to myself, I've got to do something about it. So I basically did try to do dry January.
Yeah.
And at the time, so this is not this year, this is a previous year. And at the time, I was in a bit of a toxic relationship.
This is 2021,
So this is
just for clarity.
2021. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I have previously tried to quit.
Yeah, that
Um,
was going to be my next question actually, that
yeah, it
like
sort of
before you
leads on
met
to
us, like
that.
what did you try? No, please go ahead.
Yeah, so
January
in January
2021.
2021, I did dry January, but I was in quite a toxic relationship at the time, and I felt amazing. I felt great, that I was making this change for myself, and I felt better. It was still lockdown, so it was homeschooling as well, and I'd obviously been made redundant, but I'd changed my life. I felt like I had, but my partner at the time, he didn't support me. He thought that I was boring and made me feel very uncomfortable with myself. And I ended up drinking again. So I didn't last very long. The relationship broke down after that. And I just felt like now I need to do this for myself. And then that's when I met you. I
That's
think you found me, to be
wow.
honest. I think in one of those dry January groups.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to highlight that your story is so powerful that, and it's just an example of how many other people and how common this not having the support from your spouse, how much it can impact your journey to a point where the journey basically comes to an end, and how it is vitally important. The only way that it actually works is when you do it for yourself, right? Like
Absolutely.
that's the biggest thing. And I'm so glad that you did meet us and that we connected in another group right at the right time. Um,
Absolutely. I don't even know how that happened, but amazing. As you
yeah.
just came when I needed you, you were just there.
Yep, I tend to do that for a lot of people. Just show up, Johnny on the spot, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so, so how did the hard reset and the mindfully sober membership, how did it help you? What was different about it? Did you tell us a bit more about your
Yeah,
experience?
so this is now dry January the second time. So this is this year, so 2022. So basically, it's just all the steps that we do is absolutely amazing. So I'm meditating every day. I'm reading. I'll tell you what, I can't remember the last time I turned my telly on. The amount of things I'm reading, podcasts that I'm listening to. Um, Food that we talk about that we're eating. So I'm trying to think of the other steps off the top of my head.
Going for a
Meditation.
walk, exercise,
Good. Yeah,
working
that's it.
out,
Yeah,
five
that's it.
habits. Yep.
Exercise. Yeah. And the thing that I absolutely loved about the group is the Monday night meetings. So
The
I
road to
found them.
recovery meetings, the
Yeah,
neuroscience class. Yeah, that's my
it's
favorite too.
like it's like I'm doing a course on alcohol. It is amazing, and it is. I've learned about sleep. I've learned about the food I'm eating. I've learned how to raise my vibration. Like I just feel like a sponge, and I'm soaking up all this information. It's just absolutely incredible, and I think that has just been the main thing for me: having the support around me, the support of you, the community that we're in, all your team. Honestly, it's just been invaluable.
I'm so happy to hear that, like the road to recovery classes, they are a personal passion of mine just because it takes a lot to put these classes together, and every week it takes a lot of effort to put it together. So I'm just so happy to hear that, that is the thing that is
That was my favorite thing. That is my favorite thing about it.
so I guess my next question was going to be, so out of all the things that we do, and for anyone that's listening, our main things are, there's 5 habits of the hard reset that you have to execute in a pattern, and there's like there's steps to everything, but all in all there's 5 things: meditation, getting an aerobic workout, cooking a mindful meal, going out for a walk at sunrise or sunset or both, and reading, but from a book, like a physical book, right? So these are the
Yeah.
5 habits of the hard reset, and that's what Taylor is talking about. So out of road to recovery, the live Q&As, the sessions, the neuroscience, all of these things, what would you say if you were to pick one thing that made the biggest difference? What would you say that was?
Oh God, just one thing.
Just one thing, if you were to pick one thing out of all the things.
Probably the meditation for me.
Yeah.
Definitely, just finding time to just quiet my busy mind and just sit with myself has just been the best thing for me. And I've started it off just doing a few minutes, and then in January, and then literally I'm probably doing it twice a day now, and I've even started doing it for 45-minute session.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah,
That is a very, you should be proud. 45 minutes is not
yeah.
something that beginners can just easily
No, but
do.
this is what's great about your program, because these little habits that we're talking about, you can do them small, and and then you can build them up, and the more that you see them adding value, just the more that you want to do them.
And then you just automatically are
Do
drawn
them,
towards
yeah,
it instead of, right?
absolutely.
So what Taylor is talking about is essentially the essence of the hard reset, right? So we start small, and we start very small, in fact, right? Like, remember in
Yeah,
January how we started
tiny
week 1,
habits.
week
Yeah,
2, right? So but it's consistency, and everything we do is based on a neuroscience principle called Hebb's law, which is essentially the neuroscience of how habits are formed and how you can create new habits on top of the ones that you're trying to eliminate, right? So this is what has what's been working for Taylor. So I guess in the last 3 months, what would you say, what is the biggest change that you have seen in yourself?
Um, uh, I- I've just seen so many changes. Confidence. Um, I just, I just feel so happy and grateful, and I just feel like I see everything with a beginner's mind, and I just want to share it with everybody and tell everybody how amazing it is. Just I feel that sometimes when you go on this journey, it can be quite a lonely journey in the beginning, because you are making changes and you are, you know, pushing yourself out your comfort zone, and perhaps leaving some toxic people and things behind, and it's quite frightening to do those things, but you're able to sit with yourself and learn about yourself, and that's just the best thing, because it's just so empowering. In the end, you can just learn to heal yourself and move forward and just do things that you really want to do.
Absolutely. And, I'm just going to probe you a little bit here to talk about that amazing story of how, remember
Which
how
one? Which one?
you were, so there's the 5K race where you beat almost all the men even. So
So
that's one
I could
story.
not, yeah, I could not even run for the bus. When I started this in January, I set some goals this year, and I thought we did a goal setting exercise together, didn't we? And
Yeah.
on one of them, I thought I want to start running. So I set a goal. I'm going to start running. I'm going to join this 5K group. And I ended up going. Showed up every Tuesday, went to it, and then I ended up doing a 5K race, and I came fourth out of 50 something people, and I was the first female
Amazing.
across the finish line. How
Amazing. And
amazing is that?
it
I couldn't
is.
even run
It's
for the bus, and now I'm doing 7Ks.
absolutely. That is, not only that, so that's like the physical advancement of your existence, right? Let's talk a little bit about the spiritual side. I remember, in the beginning you were concerned about whether or not you're going to get the right job, or are you happy at your job, and you wanted more time, and you wanted more time with your family without having to compromise on your income, and you couldn't really figure out how that would happen, but then suddenly it just dropped in your lap. So let's
True.
let's
When you ask the universe for something, I
yeah.
think you've got to be able to let go and just allow it to come. So yeah, I thought about my values. I was thinking a lot about my values, and I'm thinking my main thing is that I have quality time with my children, and my life wasn't aligning to that. So I was going to work full time, then coming home. The children go to their dads every other weekend. When I've got them in the week, they're then going to bed. And I was like, I need to do something different here. I need to make a change, because I'm not spending enough time with them. So asked the universe for it, like we do. And yeah, I was able to reduce my hours at work, but then they also upped my money. So I'm basically got 4 days off now and working 3 days, and I've got a quality time with my children. I've got time for my allotment, which is pushing my dream. I'm going to the gym. I'm basically just loving life.
That's amazing. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because the hard reset is not just about quitting drinking, right? Like that's kind of the first step of the entire journey. But what it is about creating the exact life that, which includes all the things that you want, even the ones that you think would be impossible, right? So the purpose behind the hard reset is to allow you to see for yourself what your what aligning yourself with your goals and your actions and intentions, what shifting your focus inward and putting your trust in the universe and connecting with those energies and sort of raising your vibration from being an alcohol dependent person who's kind of stuck in this low vibration existence, because that's what alcohol does. And within a span of 3 months. For some people, it may take a little bit more, some people, it may take less, but really between 3 and 6 months is the amount of time that it takes for you to completely revamp your lifestyle, your habits, and most importantly, the way you think. And then you see how the stars align and things just start happening, and you don't know how. You know, or they happen in a
Yeah.
way that you were just like, what? This is so crazy that it's happening. But it does happen, and it will continue to happen. And that
And I've
is,
got a good example of that one.
yeah,
I set another one of my goals that we set this year was to clear my debts, and I worked out how much it was going to cost me if I wanted to be debt free by the end of this year. And the sum, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to find this much money every month? How am I going to do it? Like, there's no way. And then you said, don't think about the how, we'll set the intention and the rest will come. You
yeah,
wouldn't believe, you just would not believe the amount of money that I have had come to me
yeah, yeah.
since I've been doing this journey. So I've had tax rebates. Uh, I've had work haven't paid me right and owed me a big amount of money. Checks coming through the door. I just electricity bill money back from it. I can't
That's
believe it when I'm saying it myself. But yeah, and I'm well on the way now to clearing that debt.
absolutely. And like we have so many parallels in both of our stories, because I too was a party guy, and I was throwing events. So that was like another level to how involved you have to be. And then also the debt that I had racked up. But I guess it's a very common feature, debt, bad diet, not being healthy, not getting enough sleep, and always stressed out, and having a short fuse, and being irritable all the time is these are very consistent characteristics of a mind and body that is, depending on alcohol for regulation of its moods and all of those things, right? So I'm glad that you can see, like, in black and white, like what the difference is. So what does the future look like for you now, Taylor? Now that you're more than 100 days, and alcohol seems to be firmly behind you, and your relationship and your dependence and all that stuff. So what does the future hold for you? What does it look like?
I'm just flowing at the moment. I'm just enjoying the life that I've created for myself. I'm just so grateful for everything that's happened to me within the last 4 months, and I'm excited to see where everything's gonna go. But at the moment, I'm just enjoying being here where I am. I'm enjoying, the new community that I've got, the new friends that I've made space for in my gym, my running, spending more time with my children. I'm just embracing all of that at the moment and seeing where that takes me, and just being open to what comes my way.
Amazing, amazing. And then lastly, I what would your advice be for anyone that is on the fence? If you had a friend who was asking you, "Hey, is it worth it? What do I do? How do I do
Oh
it?"
my God, of course it is. Do it
What's your
now.
what would be your advice
The main thing for me, I would say, is get a support network. So someone like yourself, definitely, because that's what let me down the first time. I didn't have the right support around me. Making better changes and clearing the toxic stuff out your life.
amazing? No, that's
Definitely.
very,
And you don't
very,
need alcohol to have fun. I can tell you
yes.
that.
That's a big realization when you
It
finally realize
is.
that, wait a second, I am the fun, not
Yeah,
the
this is
alcohol.
me. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
It's just hidden inside, and it needs a little bit of a push to come out. But once it comes out, once you
It's
feel it the
there.
first time, that, wait a second, I am just as much fun, if not more fun, because I actually
Absolutely.
remember everything. so
Yeah. And
so
everybody notices it as well. Wherever I go, everybody says how I'm glowing and how it just must be my energy, but everybody comments. So
it is
yeah,
your energy, it's your vibration that has been rising, right?
yeah,
And you do look like you're glowing, and you are taking care of yourself, and you're eating well, and you're sleeping well. So naturally, these are the effects. And I guess I just want to turn it over to some of our members here. I see Laura is here, Jamaica is here. Did you guys have any questions for Taylor before we end this meeting? You would have to unmute yourselves. I don't know if you can hear me. Going once,
I don't.
Hey, Jamaica, how are you?
Hi. Good. How you doing?
Great, great. Did you have any
Hi.
questions for Taylor?
I don't.
No?
Thank you
Okay,
for
great.
sharing, though.
No
Oh,
problem.
you're welcome. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for everybody that joined us and everyone that is watching inside the group. The replay will be posted here. If you are somebody that is watching this right now, and if you are on the fence, if you don't know where to start, or if you've tried and it hasn't quite worked out for you, and if you're in this place
Saying
in
8
your
o'clock.
life where things are not quite working out,
Boards at 7:30.
we have we have a membership that Taylor is a part of. This is the result of that membership. It is called the Mindfully Sober membership, and we have a 2-week free trial for everybody to just try it out, no obligation, to just see what you can learn from the science behind all of this, what you can learn from mindfulness and incorporating mindfulness into your life, and how quickly things can change, and all of this can be firmly behind you in the rear view mirror, and all it really takes is the first step and the right support, as Taylor said. I'll post the link and everything right after this. And Taylor, once again, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you so much.
You are
Thank
very
you for
welcome.
having me.
I know you were
Thank
a little
you.
bit nervous about sharing your story, but see, doesn't it
Yeah,
feel amazing now to
yeah.
share
Well, if
with
I can inspire one person, it's all for the greater good, isn't it?
absolutely, right? So the goal of this is for everyone to see that, look, like we can change, we do recover. It's not the be all end all. We do have the capacity to make whatever kind of change and live whatever kind of life we want for ourselves.
Absolutely. You can
Sometimes,
change your life. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. We'll have another one of these soon as these milestones come up. And yeah, happy Friday, everyone. I hope you all have an amazing and sober and sovereign weekend. And I'll see you all on Monday. All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Bye.